The sun had barely risen when the little girl stepped onto the broken sidewalk, her tiny hands gripping the wooden handle of a battered red wagon filled with empty bottles. The morning air was cold, and the street looked unforgiving, but she carried the determined expression of someone far older than her small frame. Her shoes were worn, her clothes slightly dirty, yet her eyes held a mix of fear and fierce hope. She wasn't out there because she wanted pocket money. She wasn't doing it for fun. She was doing it because her mother, her whole world, was sick inside a dim, quiet house, and this was the only way she knew how to help. It was survival, driven by love. And on that street, under that rising sun, fate was about to bring her fate. To face with someone nobody would have expected to show her kindness. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the idea that even the toughest hearts can turn soft, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us share more stories that remind the world what humanity looks like. Her name was Lily, a 5-year-old whose childhood had been replaced with responsibility far too soon. Her mother had once been full of color, full of laughter, but illness had dimmed that light until their home felt like a place of shadows and quiet coughs. Money was always thin, food sometimes thinner, and medicine almost impossible. So Lily collected bottles, dragging her wagon around the neighborhood, exchanging them for spare change from recycling centers or kind neighbors. Every day was a routine of wandering, hoping, and praying her mother would still be breathing when she returned. On this particular morning, the street looked especially empty, the long stretch of cracked pavement glowing gold under the early sun. Lily tugged the wagon, her arms aching as the bottles clinked together. She stopped for a moment to catch her breath, wiping her forehead with the back of her hand. That when she heard the deep roar of an engine, loud, heavy, and powerful. Her little heart jumped. She turned, and her breath caught. A massive motorcycle rolled toward her, chrome shining like metal fire. The man riding it looked like someone pulled straight out of a movie, the kind of man other people cross the street to avoid. Leather vest, heavy boots, tattoos peeking from under his sleeves. Lily didn't know much about the world, but she knew this. Bikers were scary. Her wagon rattled as she pulled it closer, uncertainty shaking her little fingers. The biker slowed, then stopped near her. The sun hit his vest, revealing a large skull emblem with wings. A symbol people whispered about. A symbol people feared. To Lily, it simply meant danger, but the man older, with a face roughened by wind and years, didn't look angry. He looked curious, concerned, even. He stepped off his bike, kneeling so he could see her better, his tough exterior softening as he noticed her wagon and the tiny girl trembling before him. The biker's name was Max, a longtime member of a motorcycle club known for its wild reputation. His life had been full of mistakes, broken laws, broken bones, broken trust, but lately he'd been trying to change, trying to find something that made him feel human again. He didn't expect that something to come in the form of a little girl on the side of the road with a wagon full of junk and eyes full of fear. Max noticed how she kept glancing toward the bottles, as if worried he might take them. He saw her shoes, too small and too worn. He saw the dirt smudged on her cheeks. And then he saw the sadness in her eyes, too heavy for someone so young. Something inside him shifted, a feeling he hadn't let himself feel in a long time. He gently placed a hand on her shoulder, surprised by how tiny she was, and asked her what she was doing out here alone. Lily, shy and nervous, managed to explain in broken whispers that she was collecting bottles for her mom, because her mom needed medicine, and medicine cost money, and this was the only way she could help. Her little voice trembled as she spoke, and Max felt his chest tighten. There was something about hearing a child speak like an adult that broke him. Something about innocence forced into responsibility. Something about her hope thin but unbroken that cut deeper than the toughest road scars. Without hesitation, he reached into his vest pocket and pulled out a small fold of money. Lily's eyes widened instantly, and Max could tell she did. Know whether to take it or run. He pressed it gently into her hands, telling her that her mother deserved the medicine and she deserved a break. Lily stared at the money like it was magic, like it was real, her little hands shaking. Then she looked up at him with tears forming in her eyes, and Max felt something in himself melt, something he did to even know was still alive. When she hugged him, small arms wrapping around his big shoulders, Max froze. Then he slowly wrapped his arms around her, feeling a lump rise in his throat. For the first time in years, he did feel like a lost cause. He felt like someone who could still do good. But Max did stop there. He followed Lily home, walking beside her as she pulled her wagon. The neighborhood was quiet, houses old and worn, but when Lily opened the door to her home, Max saw the real struggle. The air smelled of sickness and exhaustion. A woman lay on a thin mattress, pale and weak, but trying to smile when she saw her daughter. Max felt his heart crack as he took in the sight. No one should suffer like this. No child should have to carry this alone. That day, Max made a decision. He called his club not for trouble, not for partying, but to gather the men who had once stood by him through battles and storms. And when those bikers rolled into Lily, S Street, the world seemed to shake. Leather, boots, engines, yet instead of fear, they brought hope. They repaired the house, stocked the kitchen, bought medicine, paid for hospital visits, and the toughest men, with the toughest faces, became gentle giants in the presence of a little girl and her mother, Lily. As mother slowly recovered her strength, returning day by day, Lily began smiling more, her childhood returning piece by piece. And Max, he visited often, always welcomed, always greeted by Lil's bright eyes, and the warmth he never thought he deserved. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Your engagement helps us continue bringing meaningful stories to the world. Before the ending, tell us in the comments, what act of unexpected kindness have you witnessed in your life? In the months that followed, that street corner became a symbol, not of hardship, but of hope. A place where a little girl, as bravery met a biker, as second chance. A place where kindness proved stronger than reputation, and a reminder that sometimes the roughest hands hold the softest hearts.